Well, I'm not scheduling myself to follow that again. I'm just keeping up the tradition, Gene. Goodness. Let's hear it again for our student choir. Thank you, Blessed Trinity, Community of Saints, Nativity of Mary, Saint Agnes, and Saint Thomas More. And thank you to our music director, Mr. Eli Pollack. Thank you so much. You know, a conversation about the Aim Higher Foundation or Catholic schools can really only start in one place, as you just saw. It's with the children. The children in Catholic schools today, maybe your own children, maybe your grandchildren, those you saw on stage, or those children who may or may not have the opportunity to benefit from a Catholic education tomorrow. The Aim Higher Foundation believes Catholic schools instill in children a higher purpose as they grow into our leaders of tomorrow, and a higher calling as they pursue high school, college, careers, and meaningful lives. Catholic schools give children the opportunity to aim higher. A conversation about Catholic schools today, particularly at a 10th anniversary, also can't take place without acknowledging the reality of just how different the state of Catholic schools is now compared to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Catholic schools across the country were in their 55th year of, on average, a 2% annual enrollment decline. 10 years ago, we were coming out of a period where more than 2,000 Catholic schools closed in the United States between the year 1999 and the year 2012. The challenges of 10 years ago weren't related to the quality of the schools, their academic rigor, or their spiritual impact. Instead, Catholic schools and the families they serve have been stuck in a decades-long tug-of-war between mission and healthy budgets. The American Catholic school system was founded 150 years ago by people like St. Elizabeth Ann Seton and St. Catherine Drexel, who worked tirelessly to provide a safe haven for low-income and immigrant families seeking a fresh start and a better life in the new world. But over the years, as the number of religious women and men who founded and ran Catholic schools declined, the need to charge families tuition in order to employ lay teachers created a seemingly impossible question to answer. How do Catholic schools remain accessible and affordable to children regardless of the size of their parents' paycheck? 10 years ago, the founding board members of the Aim Higher Foundation proposed an answer. It's our one thing: providing scholarships to children whose parents and guardians can't afford the full cost of tuition. Since then, thanks to so many partners and friends, we have seen nothing short of a Catholic school renaissance, a new and renewed urgency to change the ending of the story everyone was writing for us. The outside world said Catholic schools were on hospice, that they would never find a way out of their challenges. But those who have gotten behind the Aim Higher Foundation, those who have joined our ranks of supporters, have said otherwise. It's no secret that Catholic schools are the talk of the education world since the pandemic seemingly turned everything upside down. That's for sure. In the ed reform world, we have a phrase: when it comes to education, parents will vote with their feet. They will leave a school setting that is no longer serving their students, and they will find a way to make sure their kids get what they need. And my goodness, are they voting with their feet right now? Demand for a Catholic education is up. Locally, enrollment has increased nearly 10% in the past 2 years. But here's the thing. Prior to COVID, Catholic schools might have not have been the talk of the town, but they've been the extraordinary success story happening nonetheless. They were already among the few true alternatives for low-income, working-class, and other historically disadvantaged parents and their children. For years, Catholic schools have produced some of the country's best high school graduation and college attainment rates, regardless of who they were serving. Catholic schools boast a 150-year history of producing not just good students, but good citizens, good people, Research tells us time and time again the Catholic school graduates are more civically engaged, they're more likely to vote, they're more committed to service, and they're more likely to remain active in the church as adults. And why? Why this success? Well, many of the people that make this possible year after year are in the room right now. If you are a Catholic school teacher, staff, principal, president, or pastor, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much for all that you do. The legacy of Catholic schools is because of you. Because of you, teachers and leaders, Catholic schools didn't just weather the pandemic, they thrived. It's because of you that families are voting with their feet, making incalculable sacrifices to get into your schools. Before dinner, Don mentioned AIM Higher's trademark momentum. Catholic schools and those who serve them have kept their momentum through the chaos of the last several years. And because of all of you here in the room, the AIM Higher Foundation has been able to match that momentum. For our 7th year in a row, we have increased the number of students that we're supporting. We continue to empower even more families with the chance to vote with their feet. And tonight, we're excited to announce for the current school year, the AIM Higher Foundation is now supporting more than 12% of all Catholic school students in the Archdiocese. That's 2,152 students, our most ever. And while we are so proud of this growth, we know that the tug of war between mission and tuition is far from over. We know we have a long way to go to reach the needs of the nearly 6,500 applications for children whose families came to us for help this year. When we finished our scholarship awarding this year, too many of those applications were labeled eligible, not awarded. In my first year teaching, I had a student named Dylan who, to this day, I think about all the time. When we mark an application eligible, not awarded, I think of him. When we receive a reserve fund application from a family experiencing unexpected hardship, I think of Dylan. Dylan was born into some challenging circumstances. He had some difficulties connecting with others, but the parents who adopted him and loved him, they did so dearly. They were great parents, and they didn't have any money. I'm fairly confident Dylan rotated wearing the 2 uniforms he owned every other day. He got free lunch, and his parents worked every single fundraiser at the school. At the end of the year, his mother came to me, thanked me for teaching her son and for seeing him as the child of God that he was. And then she shared that they wouldn't be returning to our school next year. In tears, she said there was no way it could work financially, and they needed to move in with their in-laws out of state to help keep the family together, to keep food on the table. She said she knew Dylan needed to be in a Catholic school where he would get the personal attention and the loving embrace of the community that he needed. But she also knew that wasn't going to be possible. I don't know what happened to Dylan, but I'll never forget the moment of helplessness I experienced. I walked emotionally in lockstep with Sherry, the mother, a person I've also never seen since. I made a commitment then, and I stand ever firmer in that commitment today as president of the AIM Higher Foundation, that we will do whatever we can to ensure no parent has to make a choice between the type of education they know is best for their child and the basic necessities to live a fulfilling life. Quite simply, too many children, too many Dylans don't have access to the quality of education they deserve. In the state with the second largest achievement gap, we're faced with the reality that in the very same geographic area, sometimes in the same neighborhood or just a short bus drive away, there are Catholic schools with empty seats. And the only barrier for a child who would benefit from sitting in one of them, the only thing in the way is the cost of tuition. We have to change this. Children only get one chance at a great education. And so it's time for us to go on offense. It's time to build up that momentum and take it to a whole new level. It's time to aim higher, and we need your help. Tonight, I invite you to get behind our mission and make ever truer our call to action: more scholarships, more students, stronger schools. Thank you.